Enough of you are fine waiting to cover the season 2 looks later for a full Hellfire Gala 2025 moment, so let me go ahead and wrap up my thoughts on the season 1 looks. However, I will be sprinkling in some season 2 looks that don't fit the full Hellfire Gala vibe and aesthetic into the video, and shout out to the Marvel Rivals wiki fandom. It has proven to be such a great resource for me in terms of doing these videos and just getting proper references and assets. Really great work for those who are putting the effort into it. I've already covered these first 4 skins that were part of the Marvel Rivals beta in a previous video, so let me go ahead and cruise through these. This Bounty Hunter Rocket Raccoon skin, his best look yet, hands down, something definitely more along the lines of my taste. It's an elevated Western look that I feel like is kind of native to his overall mechanics and gun-powered machinery function and moveset anyway, so really love this for him. I've mentioned how the Steam Power Iron Man kind of breaks him out of that stereotypical framework just a bit, which I appreciate a new type of aesthetic for him, but it kind of inspires me to think of him in a cybernetic, futuristic Tron style look. Just the thought of having so many luminescent details and designs on his overall suit and body would be really interesting, and I feel like would still kind of fit his overall simple framework and design. And you already know I love this presidential attire Loki. I've been waiting for this one. I cannot wait to get it. I'm a Lord rank on him, so I've been putting in the work and I'm finna look good. And I really hope they can continue to keep him in these polished, elevated styles. I do feel like it fits his aesthetic. He can lean dark, that's cool too, but this just looks so good on him. And then Spider-Punk 2099 is totally radical, and I've said a few times before how yes, let's just layer some actual clothing items onto his suit just to help him embody a variety of different fashions and actual style genres, and especially given the Spider-Verse multiverse situation, I mean, he has a full range of possibilities in which to explore. Speaking of skipping ahead to season 2, looking at the Spider Oni look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And even if it does fall along the lines of a traditional cultural Oni style that we maybe seen on Warriors before, I still feel like it's a little bit more sleek and a little bit more modern contemporary. So a great hybrid synthesis, loving the belt work, loving the accessories, and even the spider design on the mask still kind of feels like it's giving that concept, but just not the typical classic Spider-Man design. And loving that the big spider design is on the back instead of the front. It feels like it's just changing it up in small, subtle ways, making this definitely feel a little bit more brand new and transformed. The lingering imprint Venom, I mean, it works. It still is within close vicinity and very adjacent to what we've already seen him in before, but I like when they play with the textural elements on his suit or his body. The winter one kind of did that. I feel like it was a little over the top. This one's just a little bit more subdued, which just kind of appeals to my taste. Loving the orangey yellow highlights, just kind of breaks up the darker color enough, and it's kind of giving me Jason X. I don't know if I've already said this with regard to one of his previous suits that was kind of futuristic, but I'm definitely getting that vibe there. Now let me get into Storm a little bit more. I'm going to take an extra beat here because I love her character. Number one, this skin is definitely her best skin to date. It feels more elevated, it feels more premium, and I didn't even know that this Goddess of Thunder look existed for her, so it's nice to see a deeper comic look bubble its way to the top. Loving the fro, especially in blue. I think it's just, yeah, let's bring her hair to life. However, I just can't help but to feel like they keep putting her in these strong warrior, solid styles when I feel like Storm is more than that. I feel like she should be given a little bit more of that luxurious treatment. The ivory skin kind of did that, but it's not really conveying the full Storm fantasy. There's, especially for the Hellfire Gala, they need to give her a whole brand new skin. Cloak and Dagger got a season 1 skin and got a Hellfire Gala skin, both of which were to the nines, and there's they're 2 characters in 1. I just can't help but to feel like they're not really going all the way there with Storm. Emma Frost is already getting spoiled with these bold, engaging, chic, sharp designs, and I don't feel like Storm should be any exception to that treatment. Especially just seeing still the full range of looks we've gotten from her in the comics. There's plenty to pick from. I want to see a long, flowy white fro. I want to see cutouts and more body coming through. She has an incredible, they did so well with her silhouette. I think we just need to push her a little bit more. As far as this Lord of Asgard skin for Thor, I mean, we've seen these colors on him. We've seen this framework. I do like that it is a little bit more, as the devs typically do, more accessorized and stylized than what's just in the comics. I'm not a huge fan of masks, and I'm definitely not a fan of it here, but they have enough where he doesn't have any sort of like head wear. So I get it, and I'm sure with the Hellfire Gala, they're not gonna include any of that, so it's fine. Loving the cape, it kind of gives a little bit more presence and silhouette, but I just want to see something more sharp, elevated, true men's fashion on him, like they've done with Captain America. And I feel like we're gonna get that in the Hellfire Gala. Would love if it was a little bit different than his comic Hellfire Gala look, even though that was great, but very curious to see where they can push him next, because we need, once again, more than this. The Fist of Vengeance Moon Knight, so many people are just like, I want to see him in all white. Like, well, here you go. We knew this was coming. Like, this is too strong of a look for them not to include it as an alternative skin. Very strong, loving the details, loving the design. The gold obviously pops, and it would be cool to see them do more white designs, but I also do love him in black, so. Speaking of Moon Knight, I thought this Ronin skin for Hawkeye was another black and gold alternative skin for Moon Knight. It's really just the hood and a little bit of the structure and silhouette of it too. But in general, it's sharp, it's cool, it's really embodying a little bit of that kind of like samurai marksman hybrid style. And especially for a character like Hawkeye, I think it's very much a nice flex into something completely brand new and transformative. But let's talk about this Twilight duo Cloak and Dagger skin. I actually thought this was like a pull forward from the Hellfire Gala, and I was like, I would have been fine with that because they definitely showed up, but I love this kind of Sicilian mafia mobster style. Really loving a suit style for Dagger, especially love a cropped jacket. And it honestly reminds me of Michael Jackson's Bad look. Her kind of gold and black incorporated definitely helps her embody a whole new look of her own. And then Cloak is just absolutely crushing it. Loving the purple and the black. And of course the gold just to really highlight the coat over the shoulders for the cloak. Like, double-breasted jacket, super sharp. The Thrice Cursed King Black Panther look is such a nice variation, a nice fresh white look for him in his collection so far, and it's an interesting kind of like contrast or juxtaposition to the nature of what this kind of character is that he's embodying within like this like vampire theme or situation. Loving the kind of beast vampire-esque motifs on the design. It just aligns with what he is as a character. And then loving a little bit of the kind of pink. It doesn't feel like, I think white and red would have been a little like, okay. Just having that more of like a pinkish hue, especially with a little bit of glow to it, just makes it feel so much more fantastical and otherworldly. And the Mrs. Barnes skin for Black Widow, I didn't know if this was already somewhat in the comics. I mean, her silhouette is so conducive to such a wide variety of looks, and similar to Rocket Raccoon, I feel like being a shooter, that definitely feels within range of the whole kind of theme and concept. Loving the chaps, loving the crop jacket, the texture, the gold accents and hardware. Like, she just looks absolutely amazing, and I'm glad that we're flexing her out of just those typical skin tight suits. She looks good, but she can embody so much more than that, and I cannot wait to see her at the Hellfire Gala. Now, getting into a few of the season 2 looks that I don't feel like completely fit the Hellfire Gala vibe, and I just want to cover them here. Starting with Magick, and even though we've seen this like X-Men uniform before, it feels like a subtle nice flex for Magick because we've seen her in the actual fashion, actual outfits with the punk rock style, and we've also seen her in a full body of armor. This kind of brings it all together just in a more packaged, tight, sleek, slim, save the day silhouette. Love how that came out. And then Psylocke, I just love how they consistently have this fantastical, ethereal butterfly motif on her designs. It is true to her style, and it just really differentiates her from everybody else, putting her in a whole new category of her own. Loving how it forms the X emblem across the chest. I love their unique takes on the X emblem. Speaking of punk rock, they gave Squirrel Girl that hardcore treatment, but she wears it so well. From the hairstyle to the sheer top crop to the kind of layered paneled pants, like full fantasy going on. The chains, the hardware, And I just really feel like this is a super practical outfit. She's consistently had accessible, practical looks that really somebody could take and it would look like an actual outfit and not necessarily a cosplay. So really hope that they can continue to keep her within that range of style, because she's a regular girl and I feel like having regular but cool fashion is totally her vibe. Loving this for her too. But I have to cover Emma Frost. Like, I just can't resist because she is the moment, literally. Looking at her color variation, so many strong opinions on the white and light blue, but I do think that white and silver would have been really fresh, especially looking at the X emblems on the boots in a silver. That still would have popped, but been a little bit more true to her White Queen title. But nevertheless, like, she can be in any color in this suit and I'm gonna love it. I just think it's so sharp and chic. And I think the darker blue really helps the blue of the diamonds come across even more strongly. So whatever color this is gonna be, it's gonna be a slay. But let's get into her true alternative look. Wow. I did not think they were gonna go there so soon with her. But I understand where everybody's coming from. This is an absolute knockout. And think about all the drama that people made about Sue Storm's Malice skin when it is nothing compared to this. But I mean, can you really be mad when it's already true to an existing piece of media? I will say that I think some sheer elements in the chest would have been a little bit more contained and a little bit more classy. Loving her diamond elements and decorations across the whole entire outfit, like especially on the back, forming an X. She's all about that, repping that X lifestyle, and especially towards the bottom of the cape, like her jacket, she just looks so good. Loving the gold accents, loving the gold belt with another X emblem on it. Like, she's all about that life, and I feel like it helps break up some of the skin between the diamonds and the gold with the black. Like, she is the definition of luxury. And those are my thoughts on the rest of the season 1 looks, as well as a little bit of season 2. As always, let me know what you think. What are some of your favorite designs? And I cannot wait to see more of these characters at the 2025 Hellfire Gala. But until the next video, I'll talk to you later.